The entertainment world was left in shock when The Hollywood Reporter, the Jasmine Brand, and the Shade Room confirmed the passing of music mogul Irv Gotti on Wednesday, February 5th. The news spread rapidly, sending waves of sorrow through the industry. Just a year after suffering a stroke, Gotti had reportedly experienced another one that proved fatal. At just 54 years old, he left behind a legacy that shaped the sound of an entire era. Irv Gotti, whose real name was Irving Domingo Lorenzo Jr., wasn't just a producer or an executive. He was a visionary, a mastermind behind some of the biggest hip-hop and R&B hits of the late 90s and early 2000s. He was the man who built Murder Inc. Records, giving the world artists like Ja Rule and Ashanti. However, his journey to the top wasn't a smooth one. It was filled with struggles, controversies, and battles that nearly destroyed him. Gotti's story began in Queens, New York. Growing up in the streets, he had big dreams and an even bigger drive to make them happen. Before becoming a household name, he started as a DJ, spinning records under the name DJ Irv. But he wanted more. He saw a future beyond turntables and mixtapes, one that involved shaping the careers of stars. His first big break came when he landed a job as an A&R at Def Jam. This was where he helped mold the careers of some of hip-hop's biggest icons. Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule were all guided by Gotti before the world even knew their names. He had a gift for recognizing raw talent and turning it into mainstream success. Then, in 1998, he made a bold move. He founded Murder Inc. Records. At a time when hip-hop was shifting, Gotti introduced a fresh blend of hard-hitting beats and R&B-infused hooks that changed the game. Ja Rule became a superstar under his wing, delivering chart-topping hits like Always on Time and Mesmerize. Ashanti, too, became the queen of R&B, dominating the airwaves with songs like Foolish. Even Jennifer Lopez collaborated with Gotti, creating iconic remixes like I'm Real and Ain't It Funny. It seemed like nothing could stop him. His music was everywhere, on every radio station, in every club. Murder Inc. was an unstoppable force. But with success came suspicion, and whispers began to circulate about how Gotti had built his empire so quickly. As Murder Inc. rose to dominance, questions started to emerge. How had a man from Queens built such a powerful label in such a short time? And more importantly, who was backing him? The name that kept coming up was Kenneth Supreme McGriff, a notorious figure in the streets. The rumors grew louder, and soon the authorities took notice. In 2003, the FBI raided Murder Inc.'s offices in a dramatic takedown. It was like a scene from a Hollywood blockbuster. Agents storming in, files being seized, and people being questioned. The accusation? That Murder Inc. was laundering money for McGriff, who was a known drug lord. The feds believed Gotti's record label was a front, a way to clean dirty money while producing hit records. For Gotti, this was more than a legal battle. It was a fight for his legacy. His empire, once untouchable, was now on shaky ground. Artists distanced themselves, radio stations hesitated to play Murder Inc. songs, business partners pulled away. The industry that once celebrated Gotti was now watching from the sidelines, waiting to see if he would survive the storm. Gotti wasn't one to back down. He fought the charges with everything he had, insisting that he was innocent. Yes, he knew Kenneth McGriff. They were from the same neighborhood. But did that mean they were doing illegal business together? His legal team pushed back hard. They challenged every piece of evidence, arguing that there was no real proof linking Murder Inc. to criminal activities. The trial dragged on, and the hip-hop world watched with bated breath. If convicted, Gotti could have faced years in prison. Murder Inc. would have been finished for good. Then the verdict came in, not guilty. The courtroom erupted. Gotti had won. He walked out a free man, but he knew things would never be the same. The damage was already done. His label had lost its power. The industry had moved on. A new wave of artists, new sounds, and new trends had taken over. Murder Inc. was no longer at the top. Gotti had to accept that his golden era was over. But if there was one thing Irv Gotti knew how to do, it was to reinvent himself. Instead of trying to revive Murder Inc., he pivoted to television. He launched Tales, a show that combined hip-hop with powerful storytelling. It was his way of proving he was still a force in the industry, even if the landscape had changed. Then, another controversy erupted. This time, it wasn't about crime or money. It was about Ashanti. In interviews and social media posts, Gotti started making shocking claims about his relationship with the R&B singer. He hinted at a past romance, revealing details that many fans found disrespectful. His words sparked outrage. Some called him out for being messy, while others accused him of chasing clout. Ashanti remained silent at first, but when she finally addressed the situation, she didn't hold back. She denied Gotti's version of events, making it clear that his comments were out of line. Fans sided with her, slamming Gotti for bringing up personal matters years after they had parted ways. Some said he was trying to stay relevant through controversy. The situation only added to his complex legacy. For years, he had been known as a mastermind producer, a kingmaker in hip-hop. But now, he was also seen as someone who stirred up drama just to stay in the headlines. Just when it seemed like things had settled down, tragedy struck. On February 5, 2025, news broke that Irv Gotti had passed away at the age of 54. Though the cause of death was not officially confirmed, it was known that he had suffered multiple strokes in the past and had been dealing with diabetes-related health issues. His sudden passing sent shockwaves through the industry. Whether people loved him or hated him, no one could deny the impact he had on hip-hop. Tributes poured in from some of the biggest names in music. Ja Rule, his longtime collaborator and friend, posted an emotional message, calling him a brother. Even Ashanti, despite their rocky history, acknowledged the role he played in shaping her career. But not everyone was mourning. 50 Cent, Gotti's longtime rival, took a different approach. He posted a controversial image of himself standing next to a grave with the caption, "I'm smoking on that Gotti pack. Nah, God bless him." It was a brutal reminder that not everyone had forgiven or forgotten. Even in death, Irv Gotti remained a polarizing figure. Some saw him as a visionary, a man who changed the music industry forever. Others saw him as someone who thrived on controversy. But one thing was certain, his name would never be forgotten. He was a hustler, a hitmaker, a risk-taker. He built an empire, lost it all, and still found ways to stay relevant. Whether through music, television, or headlines, Irv Gotti made sure the world knew his name. And now, in the wake of his passing, the conversation about his legacy continues. What will he ultimately be remembered for? The music, the drama, or the impact he had on an entire generation? One thing's for sure, hip-hop will never forget Irv Gotti. If you thought this was messy, just wait until you see what's next. The drama doesn't stop here, and we've got even more jaw-dropping details in our next video. From unexpected betrayals to behind-the-scenes scandals, the tea is hotter than ever. Don't miss out on the latest updates. Hit that play button and dive deeper into the chaos. Trust me, you won't believe what happens next. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and get ready for another wild ride. Click now and stay in the loop with all the latest celebrity drama.